What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and today we're still waiting on the NBA 2K17 My Career Prelude, which comes out September 9th. It's only 4 days away. Unbelievable. And this Friday, that's what I'm going to be on. So stay tuned for that. But right now, we don't have a lot of content to post, not a lot of stuff to talk about with the NBA. So I'm going to be doing these random videos for the next couple of days. Honestly, this shit is getting, I don't have a lot to do right now. If y'all want to see something, please comment it down below and like the videos up so we can get more of these type shits and whatever you guys want to see. So, without further ado, let's get into this. This is the top 5 players in the NBA in my opinion, and this is not of all time. This is not of a couple years ago. This is at the moment. Who are the top 5 players in the NBA, at least in my eyes? You don't have to believe any of the things I'm saying right here. It's just my opinion, my take on this. So, the judgments, the comments, whatever you guys think are the top 5 players in the NBA, you guys should comment it down below so we can all see what everybody thinks. So let's actually get into this. At number 5, the 5th best player in the NBA, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant. Golden State Warriors newly acquired forward this offseason. The guy is a flat-out scorer, okay? What is he, 3rd all-time in scoring average? I mean, he's an incredible, consistent scorer over years and years of time. But remember, I'm not talking about years and years of time. I'm talking about right now. And I just don't think that he's top 4 right now. He is top 5, and a lot of people would say he's the 3rd best player in the league. But I'm not going to say that because I think I'd take a couple guys over Kevin Durant. And Durant, as great of a scorer he is, he still isn't as good as he was in that MVP season. That MVP season, if he was playing like that, he'd probably be 3rd on this list, but he's not playing like that anymore. I mean, he hasn't been as good since the injury. He's been really good, but I wouldn't put him there because I don't think that he has that winning mentality that is, he's separated from a couple guys. He has not won a championship in his years. He is that good of a player to win the championship, but he hasn't, and a lot of it's been his own fault. I mean, he's not that good of a 4th quarter player, at least, the last couple years. So I don't think it's fair to compare him with the likes of some guys that play 100% all the time, will give everything to win these games, because he doesn't really have that same will to win. He doesn't always show up in the clutch. I mean, the 4th quarters, it was getting really bad last year, and it's probably not going to be like that because in a Golden State system, they're probably going to have a better game plan devised for that team and what they're going to do in the clutch. But in Oklahoma City, I mean, they really, it was bad. I mean, they were terrible in the clutch. He was really bad the entire year, and especially in the playoffs against Golden State, they really got exposed. So, I mean, I don't know. He's really good at scoring, decent passer, really good rebounder. Defense is kind of suspect. I mean, he doesn't always try on defense. He has the tools to be a great defender. He's got super length and he's super tall as well, but he just doesn't really utilize it all that well. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's trying to give more on the offensive end than the defensive end. I don't know what it is, but it hasn't been good enough for him to win a championship. So I don't think he really belongs up with the likes of these 4 players. And the next player, the 4th player on this list, is another guy who hasn't won a championship. It's Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook is, I mean, I don't think really it's his fault, because this guy's always playing 100%. And he's not going to make the best decisions all the time, but we're not going to really look at that because Russell Westbrook, he gives so much to the team. You can't really blame him for something like that. He's always trying, and I mean, honestly, that's really the only knock that you can have on him, is that he's pretty inefficient with the turnovers sometimes. And he doesn't make a couple plays that aren't very smart, but he also makes some plays that are just flat out amazing and stuff that no one else in the league can do. I mean, the guy's a triple-double machine. Next year, he's probably going to lead the league in scoring, steals, and lead all guards in rebounding again, maybe assist as well. Like, this guy's going to pad the stats like no one you've ever seen before next season. It's going to be crazy, and this team probably going to make the playoffs as well, so they're going to make some noise. Thunder are. But Russell Westbrook has just got so much he's just got so much in the bag, man. I mean, he can do everything you need out of a point guard and more. I mean, the 8 rebounds a game that he might average next year, maybe more. I mean, who else is going to do that? What other 6'3" guard is going to put up numbers like that? It's just unbelievable. So Russell Westbrook checks in at number 4. I just think I'd rather have him than Durant. I think he's more productive. He does more for you. If you want a pure scorer, you get Durant. But if you want a guy that does, a point guard that does everything, that is so intense, no one can guard his ass, I'm going with Russell Westbrook. So now at number 3, we get a little bit more into this top tier, and 3 is very close to 1 and 2. What, at least 2? Now I don't know about 1, but 3. I mean, these 2 through 5 are very close. Number 3, I'm going with Spurs forward Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a guy that people might not expect to be above Durant and Westbrook, but I'm putting him here because I value defense, and you guys know that because I made these James Harden videos. I don't think James Harden's a superstar because he doesn't play defense. Defense is half the game. And when fans don't always appreciate that or notice that or acknowledge that, because people want to see offense, especially the casual fan, they want to see people put up buckets and score points because it's more entertaining, but defense is just as important in terms of winning games, and Kawhi Leonard totally demonstrates that. The best defensive player in the game, he guards 1 through 5, and he's the best bet for any player in the NBA. Any star player, you put Kawhi on him, and he's all of a sudden just producing less. And he's struggling because Kawhi's got long arms, he's got huge hands, he's got speed, his basketball IQ was off the charts. And not to mention, I'm not only going to talk about defense with Kawhi Leonard. He averaged 21 points, 7.5, I think, rebounds. Don't quote me on those numbers, but it's something like that. He plays a system offense, and he's putting up 21 points per game. I know that if he was on a bad team or something like that, he'd be putting up more than that, because the way he plays, he doesn't always have the ball in his hands. They have a lot of guys on that team that they like to put the ball in their hands, and Kawhi actually got the ball a lot more this year, but I think that he's got so much room to improve. I mean, he's just so stacked with all of his abilities, and he's just the best bet, at least in the defensive end. And that's why I would put him above Durant and Westbrook, because he's just so good. I mean, what are you going to do against this guy? He's offense and defensive threat, and Durant is not an offense and defensive threat. Westbrook can be, but he gambles a lot for steals. Kawhi is complete in both of those areas. At number 2, I'm going with Warriors guard Steph Curry. I just talked about defense, so this might baffle you, but Steph Curry is literally so good on the offensive end. His defense isn't as bad as people might think, because the thing about James Harden was James Harden's defense was terrible and his team was terrible on the defensive end, bottom 10 in all defensive categories. Now, Steph Curry's team was not bad defensively. They were very, very good. They were top 3, I think, last season, and that's very good. If Steph Curry's a terrible defender, how are they going to be top 3 as a point guard? He's obviously going to be guarding someone that's a guard. Guards are very good in this league, and don't tell me that Harden had no good defensive players on his team to excuse him for playing shitty defense, because he had Ariza and Beverly and Dwight Howard on that defensive end starting with alongside him. So there's no excuse for that. Steph Curry, on the other hand, he's got good defenders on his team as well, but his team is not struggling on the defensive end. He's not costing them a lot of points, at least in the regular season. I know the finals were a little bit different for that, but Steph Curry is just so good on the offensive end. You guys might be thinking, well, after he played like what in the finals, there's no way he could be this high on the list. Well, actually, Steph Curry was dealing with some injuries. I'm not excusing him because he was dealing with injuries. I'm just saying that might be a reason why he wasn't as good. Obviously, he didn't play well in the finals, and he did bad, and he is to blame a little bit, at least, for the NBA Finals loss, because he got outplayed by Kyrie Irving. But trust me, Stephen Curry, unanimous MVP. What he does like no one else. His numbers are off the charts, unbelievable production. And I could actually do a more in-depth video on this, the difference between Steph Curry and James Harden, and why I rank one so high, one so low. But yeah, I'm going to move on for now. We're going to run a little low on time. So number 1, I'm going with LeBron James. James, who else was going to be at the top of this list? This guy is so dominant. He's, NBA Finals 6 years in a row now and counting. I mean, are you kidding me? Who else is doing stuff like that? Who else can do stuff like that? There's no player in the NBA like this guy. No one. 6'8", and he's got court vision better than damn near every player in the league. He's 6'8", and he's a point guard in a small forward's body. And he's just that good. He leads his team. Even, I mean, look, you could put this guy on a terrible team, they make them a contender. You put this guy in the Brooklyn Nets, he makes them a contender. Any team in the league, okay? Because when he was in Cleveland in 2009, the year before he left, they won 67 games in the regular season. Who was on their team? What good players were on their team? You tell me, because there was no one on that team that could have done anything if he wasn't on that team, because he was making his teammates better. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm just saying that the GMs didn't do a good job of surrounding him with talent. Now he's got talent, and look what he's doing with it. He's winning championships, coming back from 3-1 deficits in the NBA Finals to a 73-9 team setting records. Who else is doing that? There's no one else capable of that. So that's why I'm putting LeBron number 1. Look, if you guys have a problem with any one of these, I can make an in-depth video on why I think that I had to give a short 2-minute description maybe on each one of these, but I'm going to be out with that. I don't know what I'm going to do with these videos until September 9th, but please like this up, comment ideas for me down below. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.